What's up, you beautiful Redditors? Hope you're having a fantastic Saturday. Welcome to the RNEWS morning show. And let's just jump into it. From r/politics, Democrats prepare bill limiting U.S. Supreme Court justice terms to 18 years. The bill seeks to avoid constitutional concerns by exempting current justices from the 18-year rule. Those appointed under term limits would become senior upon retirement and rotate to lower courts. That's perfectly consistent with their judicial independence and having a lifetime salary and a lifetime appointment, Kana said. Clever way of avoiding the constitutional amendment route. I could see this being something that Joe will pick up to carry the "Unite the Country" banner. Republicans are all about term limits, but I bet they don't love this. I definitely don't love that current justices are exempt, because then Clarence Thomas will outlive all of us. There should be more justices too. Not for partisan reasons, but to move justice along faster and handle more cases. It seems like a huge bottleneck that 9 people are the ultimate arbiter of justice for 330 million. Wouldn't that need a constitutional amendment? You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/politics, Bernie Sanders details Trump's efforts to steal election in urgent call to action. This should be red alert time. A guy just straight up said what he plans to do. We are really going to wait for him to try. He should be removed immediately. Shouldn't there be some agency that secures the executive branch from a direct threat like this? The threat is legitimate and actually exists. Shouldn't there be some agency that secures the executive branch from a direct threat like this? I don't think America was ever ready for this. What do you do when a sitting US president backed by 38% of fanatics loses and refuses to go? Will the military remain unified behind one response, or will politics divide them as well? So civil war there. Russia wins. We were prepared for this. We were not prepared for no one to do anything about it. We were prepared for this. We were not prepared for no one to do anything about it. Ironically, that the Second Amendment and me group who prides themselves on preventing exactly this, is on the side of the person attempting the power grab. WTF, I love dictatorships now. Quote. They've become the please tread on me crowd. Over at our libertarian, they're still claiming that Trump is more libertarian than Biden. Cult mentality is a hell of a drug. If you're a Bernie supporters and won't vote for Biden, you were never a part of his movement. You're probably just an butthole edit. Apart. Apparently we have a bunch of grammar nerds here. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/politics, in the US, we count ballots. Trump slapped down by Electoral Commission chief over call to dump mail votes, in case anyone is unclear on the concept. In the United States of America, we do not get rid of ballots. In case anyone is unclear on the concept, in the United States of America, we do not get rid of ballots. We count them. The fact that this even needs to be said should scare the frick out of people. Trump is going to try to burn our democracy to the ground before he gives up power. Frick this fascist. Frick this fascist and his enablers. This man is not the president. He is a criminal who has been propped up by a broken system. Every single day this remains clear, and it will do nothing but get clear as we near November 3rd. If you were reading about this period in history, what would you think of the people who sat by and watched this unfold without doing anything? Man, all orange does is act sus. In the United States of America, we do not get rid of ballots. The Georgia constituency would like to have a word with you. I signed up for mail-in voting, but I don't trust the system. Fortunately, my polling place has never been too busy, so I'm voting in person regardless. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/news, Buffalo police officers no longer required to display names on badges, can wear badge number instead. I'm sure this will help increase police accountability. I'm waiting for the decree that numbers can be displayed in binary, Morse, or Braille, or hell, base 17, for all we know, because why wouldn't you want to make it harder for the police to be accountable? And claimed he tripped. Providing a false statement should be a crime for cops, or at the least invalidate their pensions. If lying to an officer is a crime, why isn't it a crime when they lie? If lying to an officer is a crime, why isn't it a crime when they lie? It absolutely should be a crime for cops to lie like that. But as others have said, lying to a police officer is not a crime unless you're under oath. It's lying to a federal agent that is a crime. Never did I think that HBO's Watchmen would be prophetic. I thought maybe, eventually. Turns out 2020 is the eventually for just about every nightmare scenario you've ever worried about. I guess when you get to the end, all the eventually have to happen at once. If you keep kicking the can down the road, then all there is at the end of the road is a bunch of freaking cans. What they actually mean: Buffalo police officers no longer required to hide names on badges, can hide badge number instead. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/World News. A Japanese woman running a sex worker dispatching business sued the state on Wednesday, saying its blanket exclusion of the sex industry from a cash handout program to support small companies hit by the coronavirus is discrimination banned under the Constitution. Hot damn, I would love to be a fly on the wall at that hearing. You know Japanese. It would be especially good if she recognized some of her clients on the other side of the table. I just picture everyone at the hearing using silly voices. Half the defense is wearing Groucho masks. Sex work is work. Like many other things, there are multiple benefits to dragging it out of the dark and giving it social and legal viability. Consenting adults selling sex being illegal doesn't make it stop and creates environments where people get hurt, exploited, and have no help when things go south. She's right. The world is wrong on this one. People like sex. Making it illegal to sell it just leads to it being hidden and more dangerous. Edit. I have a lot of upvotes. That means my penis is very large. Have a good day. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/World News. Trump cuts aid for pro-democracy groups in Belarus, Hong Kong and Iran. This one is juicy. The background is Trump is pissed that USAGM, U.S. Agency for Global Media, aka U.S. Foreign Propaganda Arm, for not being propagandistic enough. USAGM is ostensibly an independent agency that at least tries to fashion pro-US propaganda narratives based on somewhat respectable news reporting standards. Trump recently appointed Michael Peck to lead and gut the agency. Peck is a conservative filmmaker who's worked closely with Steve Bannon since it's related to Bannon. Of course it has to do with China. Refer to drama around his recent work on Chinese lab-created COVID study published by LOL, Rule of Law Society. Bannon on USAGM. Bannon, who served as Trump's chief strategist, told the conservative newspaper Washington Times, after decades of kowtowing to China, Amanda Bennett resigned before being summarily fired. Now patriots can begin the process of cleaning up the mess she leaves behind. By the way, Radio Free Asia is funded by USAGM. Bannon thinks Radio Free Asia kowtows to China. TL. Dr. Traditional state-level propaganda isn't biased enough for current admin. They want full-blown fake news machine. Other U.S. foreign influence programs are being incidentally crippled in the fallout. Also yes, of course U.S. conducts foreign influence abroad, including the aforementioned places. Keep that in mind when you read mainstream media that alleges all these events are completely organic. And that's where we're going to end today's show. But if you like what you saw, leave a like, and if you want to see more of the RNEWS show, hit that subscribe button. As always, this has been the RNEWS show and I'll see you tomorrow.